The Determine tool is a tool used to self-screen for malnutrition for people over the age of 65 years who are living in their own homes. It can be completed by yourself, or by a carer, or by a family member.
I often skip meals because I don't feel hungry. I feel full soon after I've started eating. I've lost weight without trying to. Does this sound familiar to you? If so, you may be at risk of malnutrition. Malnutrition occurs when we do not eat enough food to meet our nutritional needs. It can also occur when we do not eat the right amount and variety of food to give us the nutrients we need. Malnutrition can occur as a result of many factors, including decreased appetite, difficulties with chewing foods, illness, as well as being unable to shop for foods or prepare meals for yourself. Malnutrition is common among older people and individuals living with chronic diseases. Individuals who are malnourished have a greater risk of infections, illness, and complications with existing conditions. The most common symptoms of malnutrition is unplanned weight loss. Other signs and symptoms include muscle wasting, feeling tired all the time and lacking energy, increased vulnerability to infection, delayed wound healing, dizziness, irritability, brittle nails, dry and flaky skin, persistent diarrhea, and depression. That is why it is important to prevent and manage malnutrition. In this video, we will discuss how you can identify if you or someone you know may be at risk of malnutrition. Malnutrition screening can help to identify those who may be malnourished or at risk of malnutrition. If you are identified as malnourished, you may benefit from nutritional advice and support from a registered dietitian. There are currently different ways that healthcare professionals try to screen for malnutrition. For example, checking a person's weight, height, and the amount of weight loss. Another way that risk of malnutrition can be checked is using a set of questions, like the Determine screening tool. The Determine is a self-screening set of questions that you can use yourself at home to identify if you or someone you know is at risk of malnutrition. A healthcare professional can also go through the questions with you. So how does it work? The Determine questionnaire is made up of 10 questions that the individual answers yes or no to. There is a score allocated to each question. At the end of the questionnaire, you can total your score and compare it to the Nutrition Health Score categories at the bottom of the page. We will now go through the Determine tool step by step. You can follow along and answer the questions. Remember to keep track and record your score for each question. It may be useful to print a copy of the Determine tool. To do so, please see the video resources below. Question 1. I have an illness or condition that made me change the kind and/or amount of food I eat. You should consider answering yes to this question if you find it difficult to chew or swallow foods, if you mostly eat soft or pureed foods, if you've been diagnosed with a swallowing difficulty, if you've been experiencing any nausea or vomiting, if you've been experiencing any constipation or diarrhea, or have you experienced any changes in taste or smell, or has your appetite reduced lately? Do you feel full soon after starting to eat? If you've answered yes to this question, record a score of 2. Question 2. I eat fewer than 2 meals per day. For this question, it is important to consider, have the portions of your meals become smaller? When you finish your meals, is there a lot of food left on the plate? If you feel this relates to you, then answer yes. If you've answered yes to this question, add 3 points to your nutrition score. If you've answered no, do not add any points to your nutrition score. Question 3. I eat few fruits or vegetables or milk products. The recommended intake for fruits and vegetables is 5 to 7 portions per day. An example of a portion is a medium-sized piece of fruit like an apple, orange or banana, or half a cup of cooked vegetables, or a bowl of salad or homemade vegetable soup. Consider how many portions of fruit and vegetables you have a day. How does it compare to the recommendations? Milk products include milk, cheese and yogurts. The Healthy Eating Guidelines recommend 3 portions of milk products a day. A portion includes a 200 ml glass of milk, a carton of yogurt and 25 grams of cheese. If you eat less than the recommended portions for fruits, vegetables, and milk products, consider answering yes to this question and add 2 points to your nutrition score. Question 4. I have 3 or more drinks of alcohol, for example beer, liquor or wine, almost every day. Alcohol provides calories but not nutrition value. Drinking too much can reduce your appetite for good food or make you more likely to skip meals. If you've answered yes to this question, add 2 points to your nutrition score.
Question 5. I have tooth or mouth problems that make it hard for me to eat. To help you answer this question, consider: are your teeth in bad condition? Is it sore when you chew or swallow foods? Do you wear dentures? Are they loose or painful to wear? Do you find it difficult to swallow certain foods? Is your mouth often dry or do you have mouth ulcers? If you answer yes to this question, add 2 to your nutrition score. Question 6. I don't always have enough money to buy the food I need. If you answer yes to this question, add 4 to your nutrition score. Question 7. I eat alone most of the time. If you answer yes to this question, add 1 to your nutrition score. Question 8. I take 3 or more different prescribed or over-the-counter medicines a day. If you have answered yes to this question, add 1 to your nutrition score. Question 9. Without wanting to, I have lost weight recently. You may not weigh yourself often and therefore find it difficult to answer this question, but there are other ways you can identify if you have lost weight. Consider answering yes to this question if you have noticed that your clothes have become loose or rings that you wear on your fingers have become loose or fall off easily. If you have answered yes to this question, add 2 to your nutrition score. Question 10. I am not always physically able to shop, cook, and/or feed myself. Consider answering yes to this question if you rely on friends, family, or other services to assist you with your shopping and/or cooking. If you have answered yes to this question, add 2 to your nutrition score. Take a moment to calculate your score, which is the sum of all the scores you have given yourself for each question. Track the changes in your score by including the date on the form each time you use it. You can now identify if you have good nutritional status, are at moderate nutritional risk, or at a high nutritional risk. If your score is between 0 and 2, this is a good score. Remember to recheck your nutritional score again in 6 months or sooner if you have any other concerns. It may help to keep track of your weight monthly. If your score is between 3 and 5, you are at moderate risk of malnutrition. For moderate risk of malnutrition, please speak to a healthcare professional, your GP, or a community nurse or public health nurse about whether you need to be referred to a dietitian. Additional advice and contact details for community dietitian services are available at www.hse.ie/nutrition supports. If you have scored 6 or more, you are at a high risk of malnutrition. It is important to contact your GP, community nurse, or public health nurse, who may refer you to a dietitian. The dietitian will discuss with you what changes you should make to your diet. A dietitian can develop a recommended diet plan, depending on your individual circumstances. If you find it difficult to swallow food or drink, you may need to be referred for an assessment by a speech and language therapist. Remember that early identification of malnutrition can have a positive effect on outcomes. Malnutrition risk increases with age and is a significant concern in terms of poor health outcomes. You can download the Determine screening tool in the link provided with this video.